All right, so we're going to be recapping the NL games of yesterday. We just did the AL, so it only makes sense to do the NL. So, yeah, we'll talk about it. There is currently one game going on right now, the Mets game. It's an absolute blowout, which good for me. I'm a Mets fan, very happy about that. But I'm going to be recapping it for tomorrow's show because there's only 5 games tomorrow, and I would like to be able to talk about them in a segment. So, yeah, we'll be recapping that game tomorrow, so we will not be talking about it at the end of this segment. But, the Mets game is on right now. It's a blowout. Go Mets. Very exciting, and glad to win a series against the Braves, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. First, for the first NL game we have on the agenda is going to be a continuation of the Phillies-Cardinals series. Top of the first, the scoring opens up with a JT Realmuto fielding error thing, reaching on a fielding error. I worded that wrong when I started to come out of it. So, yeah, reached on a fielding error by Victor Scott. That would score Kyle Schwarber to make a 1-0 Phillies in the top of the first. Alec Bohm went an RBI single, scoring Realmuto, so nice job by the Phillies to capitalize off that error and make it 2-0 in the top of the first. Ivan Herrera would hit a solo home run, his third of the year, to make it 2-1 Phillies in the bottom of the second, so nice job by him to get one of those runs back. And Brendan Donovan would tie up the game with a solo home run himself, his second of the year, to make it 2-2. Jumping to the top of the sixth now, we would have Brandon Marsh hit an RBI single to score JT Realmuto to make it 3-2, and a Nick Castellanos RBI single to make it 4-2. So nice job by the Phillies to get those 2 runs back that the Cardinals just tied the game up with. The Cardinals in the bottom of the 8th would get a Nolan Arenado. I just said Nolan RBI. Nolan Arenado RBI single to score Wilson Contreras to make it 4-3. Unfortunately, the Cardinals would not score any more runs, and that was be all she wrote, as the game would end up being 4-3 Phillies. They would win the battle of the red teams. For the Phillies, they had Aaron Nola on the mound, who went 6 innings, giving up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 home runs. So kind of an interesting start for him, but only gave up 2 runs, only gave up 3 hits. So kind of got bit by the long ball, but still a quality start by him. I think any person would take that any day. So, yeah, definitely a nice start by Nola. For the Cardinals, they had Lance Lynn on the mound, who was okay, had an interesting game, going 5 innings, only giving up 1 run, but giving up 2 runs. None were earned, though, because of the error by Victor Scott. So, had 4 walks as well, but 6 strikeouts. So a really interesting game by Lynn. Only gave up no earned runs, but gave up 2 runs, only 1 hit, 4 walks, but 6 strikeouts, and only went 5 innings. So not a start I think any Cardinals fan would like to see again, but it definitely wasn't horrible. So it's not awful. So I guess you can't be that mad about it. Next game we will have on the agenda is going to be another divisional matchup. So many for this week's slate of games. It is going to be Rockies Diamondbacks. Sorry, I didn't tell you what it was first. First, top of the first, we have Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hitting an RBI single to score Corbin Carroll to make it 1-0 Arizona. Bottom of the first, Eleuteris Montero would tie up the game, making it 1-1 with an RBI single to left fielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr., scoring Ezequiel Tovar, making it 1-1. Top of the second, we would have Blaze Alexander hitting a solo home run, his second of the year, to make it 2-1 Arizona. Bottom of the fourth, Michael Toglia of the Rockies, of course, would hit a 2-run home run, his third of the year, to make it 3-2 Rockies and give them the lead. Unfortunately, they would not get any more after that, as the Diamondbacks would come back with a Lourdes Gurriel Jr. RBI double to make it 3-3, and then a Eugenio Suarez RBI double as well to make it 5-3. So a nice job by the Diamondbacks to come back against this bad Rockies team, win this game. I mean, any game against the Rockies, no offense, should be won. They are not a good baseball team whatsoever, so really nice job by them. For the Rockies, they had on the mound Austin Gomber, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 1 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 4.91 ERA in the season, which isn't that horrible for his standards, especially also being in Coors. So not a horrible season so far, but definitely not a positive one. For the Diamondbacks, they did have Tommy Henry on the mound. He went 5 innings pitched, giving up only 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. So not a bad start, only giving up 2 earned over 5. But again, you want pitchers to go deeper into games. I understand that they just don't do that as much anymore, but I still would like them to. And I think it's still a big part of the game that they should be able to. So, yeah, just my 2 cents about that there. Next, we have Nationals-Giants. Giants hopefully looking to not get swept against the Nationals. Top of the second, the Nationals would open up the scoring with a Joey Gallo home run, his third of the year for the Nationals. He's had a really strong start to the season so far. Doing that classic Votto thing, his average under 200, but his OPS at 800, 3 home runs, 4 RBIs, even a stolen base in there. So it's really interesting to see if Gallo can get back to the ways of the old. I don't expect him to ever be back to that Texas Rangers Joey Gallo, but he could still be a really solid player, and we're definitely looking to see that. Bottom of the second, Nick Ahmed would tie up the game with an RBI triple, scoring Matt Chapman. Tyler Fitzgerald would give the Giants the lead with a RBI single, making it 2-1, and an Austin Slater RBI single would give them the lead by 2, making it 3-1 in San Francisco. Bottom of the fifth, Wilmer Flores would hit a sacrifice fly, making it 4-1. Mike Conforto would hit a RBI single to make it 5-1, both in the bottom of the fifth, so the former Mets coming through for the Giants in this inning. Then, in the bottom of the sixth, Nick Ahmed would hit an RBI single, and Lamont Wade would do the same, making it 7-1. So the Nationals would score early, but would not score after that, as they would end up losing this game to the Giants, who would avoid getting swept. So nice job of the Giants to come back with this series and finally win a game against the big bad Nationals. Being sarcastic, obviously. For the Nationals, they did have Patrick Corbin on the mound. 5 2/3, 11 hits, 7 earned runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. 8.44 ERA in the season. Nationals fans, you only got a few more months till he's gone. 1 year left in his contract. He won you a World Series, was off till after that. You're free from his contract soon, okay? You don't have to worry, and everything's going to be okay with his contract. So, yeah, you're just waiting it out at this point. For the Giants, they had Jordan Hicks on the mound. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 ERA in the season. I mean, the Giants have somehow transformed Jordan Hicks into a really good starting pitcher, which is super scary for the league. I mean, if this guy can throw like he's throwing and be a consistent starting pitcher, it would be really, really impressive by the Giants to be able to do that. The really big thing for me here is the 2 walks. Only 2 walks over 6 innings is really a nice job done by Jordan Hicks. Of course, as a reliever, as a flamethrower, he always gives up walks. I mean, he's a reliever who throws hard. Of course he does. So, that's really the biggest key there for me, looking at that, seeing that he only gave up 2 walks. So really nice job by the Giants to be able to kind of redevelop him like that, and good job by Hicks to be able to be a really good starting pitcher. And we'll see if that sticks for the rest of the season. Bottom of the second, for the next game we have on the agenda, which is going to be Padres-Cubs, we have Luis Campusano hitting an RBI single to score Jurickson Profar, making the game 1-0 Padres at the start of the bottom of the second, to open up the game. Jackson Merrill would hit a RBI ground out to score Ha-Seong Kim, making it 2-0 San Diego. Top of the fourth, Michael Busch would tie it up, making it 2-2 with his second home run of the year, scoring Christopher Morel. Bottom of the fourth, Jurickson Profar, who's had a really nice season back with the Padres, makes it 3-2 with an RBI double, scoring Manny Machado. The same inning, Luis Campusano would ground out softly to shortstop Dansby Swanson, which would score Ha-Seong Kim to make it 4-2 San Diego. Then the Padres would just run away with the game. Bottom of the sixth, Jake Cronenworth, second home run of the year, a solo home run to make it 5-2. Jurickson Profar, second home run of the year, 2-run shot, making it 7-2. Jurickson Profar RBI single, Jose Azucar RBI single, and Fernando Tatis Jr. RBI single, making it 10-2 Padres at the end of the eighth, and that is where the score would end up saying. So, yeah, an interesting start to the season by both these teams now. Padres are 7-8, and the Cubs are 7-5. So we'll see how these two teams keep going for the year, but it's definitely looking interesting for their seasons right now. For the Cubs, they had Kyle Hendricks on the mound, who went 5 innings, giving up 7 earned runs. So not a good start by him at all. He might be running out of gas for his career right now. He's getting older, so we'll see what happens with him. For the Padres, they did have Dylan Cease on the mound, who was phenomenal, going 6 innings, giving up 0 earned runs, 2 runs, but none earned. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, a home run, 2.16 ERA in the season. Really, really great season by him so far. Just a really great job. The next game on the agenda we are going to have is talking about, let me find it. There we go. It is going to be Brewers-Reds. So that is the next game. Another divisional matchup. Insane. Top of the first here, Christian Yelich would hit a 2-run home run, his 5th of the year, making it 2-0 Milwaukee to start off with. Jackson Chourio would hit an RBI single to make it 3-0 Milwaukee. And then William Contreras would hit an RBI single himself to make it 5-0. And then Jackson Chourio would hit a sacrifice fly to make it 6-0 Milwaukee, all by the top of the fourth. So they're, the stars of the Brewers are coming together and scoring runs for them. Christian Yelich, Jackson Chourio, William Contreras. Chourio's been looking like a big leaguer already, so really nice job by this Brewers offense to come through and be really good. The bottom of the fourth, the Reds would hit a RBI single to make it 6-1. Getting themselves on the board. Ellie De La Cruz with his third home run of the season, making it 6-2. But the Brewers would hit another insurance run, making it 7-2, with a Blake Perkins solo home run, where the game would end up staying, and the Brewers would end up winning 7-2 against their rival Reds. For the Reds on the mound, they had Hunter Green, who was less than stellar, going 6 innings, giving up 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, I guess, which is good, but still not a good start by him. Going 6 innings, giving up 6 earned, a run per inning. So definitely not good, and definitely not what you want from a guy who you have at the top of your rotation. For the Brewers, they had Wade Miley on the mound, who was decent, only going 4, but in that 4 he was great, only giving up 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 walks. So yeah, really interesting start by him. Again, only went a little bit, but still a nice start. Final game we have on the agenda for the NL is going to be Marlins-Yankees, a interleague game. But as I said, for whatever team wins, I put it for that league. So I guess you know who won now. At the top of the third, we had Luis Arias hitting an RBI single to score Nick Gordon to open up scoring 1-0 Marlins in the top third. Jake Berger would hit a 3-run home run, a big shot, making it 4-0 Miami. Giancarlo Stanton would hit a home run against his former team, which would lock in hitting a home run against every single team in his career, which is a really great accomplishment by him. Congrats. His years with the Yankees haven't been the best, but he was one of the premier sluggers in this league for a long time and still has that within him. So really nice job by Stanton, and congratulations to him. For the bottom of the eighth, we would have Juan Soto hitting an RBI double, making it 4-2. And then in the top of the ninth, Nick Fortes would add some insurance on it, with making it 5-2 after reaching on a fielding error by Anthony Volpe. So the Marlins would end up getting their second win of the season, moving to 2-11. So maybe they're World Series bound after getting their second win of the season. Who knows? For the Yankees, they had Stroman on the mound, who was okay, going 5 innings, giving up 4 runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, and a homer. Not what you want to see against the Marlins, but not a horrible start. So I think you just want to see him rebound next time. It's not a huge deal. For the Marlins, they had Ryan Weathers on the mound. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, no 1 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Really strong start by him against this great Yankees lineup. If I was a Marlins fan, I'd be happy with how he performed. It was a really, really nice outing and a really nice start for him. So good job there. All right, so those were all the NL games and AL games of yesterday. Those were our first 2 segments. So that is it. We'll be going into our third segment here, which is going to be talking about Scott Boras and Jordan Montgomery. And, just that whole situation, which I'll explain more after the break. So, we'll see you then. And, bye. Thanks.